My name is Teresa. I am a woman, wife, and mother conquering chronic illness, and welcome to my channel. Hey, could you do me a favor? Subscribe, and I'll see you in the comment section down below. Today, we're going to be talking about self-care, what it is, what it's not, and how you can start implementing it into your life guilt-free while you have a chronic illness. So let's go. So self-care is not just, it can include, but it's not just free time, manicures, brunch dates, and things of that nature, right? Self-care is anything that you can do to maintain the individualized care of your person, right? For me, self-care starts with, number one, taking care of this body. So whatever I need to do to maintain the health of this body, right? Emotionally, physically, spiritually, what is in my hair? Sorry. That is self-care. It starts with making sure I eat food and drink water. It is making sure I take my meds and take them on time. Making sure I sleep 7 to 9 hours every single night. And making sure that I do things like, bathe and shave and wash my hair, right? It is difficult to do anything else when you have not at least started there. So number one, take care of this vessel. Like, you need to take care of the house that you are in first and foremost. Next, prioritize what is good for you. And that can be difficult because I think, especially as adults first, as women, right, as wives and mothers or partners, there are a lot of outside things trying to tell us what is most important. And even some internalized ideology that tries to tell us what is important. For me, I struggled for a while, a really long time. Probably the most difficult part of adjusting to being in a body that has limited function. I use spoons, right, to manage my energy, is recognizing that my value cannot come from what I do, if that makes sense, or how much I'm able to accomplish in a day. So for me, I would prioritize and making sure I'm a good worker, making sure I completed my motherly and wifely to-do list, right? That's no longer the top priority. Top priorities for me now are making sure I do what makes me happy. Like, goals for me are now to be present with family, husband and wife, husband and child, to be present with them. And that does not necessarily mean making sure that all their laundry is washed or making sure that I cook the meal that they eat for dinner, right? Sometimes it looks more like sitting on the couch with them because I'm tired and I can't be present with them if I'm ripping and running, wearing myself out, doing those other things. So prioritizing what's important for you, hobbies and preferences for things that you actually like to do. That's important. And I've had to lean more on that here recently because I cannot physically do as much as I used to do. It's just not possible. Around the house, even with work, like, I cannot physically do as much as I used to do. Number 3 for me has been to learn to delegate. And this is difficult, I think, for lots of women, especially when we internalize some of those things that are supposed to be our priorities. When we start reprioritizing our life, it means that we can't do some things. They still need to be done. And so that means we're going to have to ask for help. We're going to have to say, hey, husband, you do this. We're going to have to accept that if other people are doing things that we would normally do, they're not going to do them the way that we would do them. And that means we're going to have to outsource, right? Cleaning, cooking, childcare. Like that means that some of the things that some of the responsibilities that we were piling on our own shoulders, we are going to have to delegate for someone else to do. You're going to have to ask for help. There's no way around it. Number 4, prioritizing mental health. And this has been a big thing for me here recently. I have made it a point to go to counseling, seek psychiatric help, get evaluation for things that I may think may be going on with my brain. Doing the internal work to help my mental health helps my physical health. And there's just no way around it. Like, mental health and physical health, we separate them, but they're really the same thing. It's Teresa health. It's whole body health. And making it a point and a priority to make sure I work on my mental health, and it becomes like a practice, almost like a meditative practice, doing those things that help me recognize some of the triggers and some of the pitfalls that I have when it comes to anxiety and depression, and just being mindful in general has been extremely helpful in making sure that I practice self-care on a daily basis, where I can't be running around here anxious all the time and not dealing with the things that are making me anxious, and dealing with intrusive thoughts, and dealing with things that make me feel depressed. I can't avoid that and expect to be healthy overall. Self-care is also the work that we do for our mental health. And number 5 for me, making sure that I keep up with the social and emotional and relationship connections that are in my life. It is so easy when you are struggling to turn inward. And I think particularly at the time of life that I am at right now, just in general, like socializing and relationships outside of immediate family and the things that I have to do to maintain my household and work and stuff, like that is really hard to do. Being a wife and a mother with young kids, and then compounding that with the fact that I have limited energy because I am dealing with chronic illness. It makes it difficult to maintain friend relationships. I don't want to be going out. I have a bedtime routine that I have to keep up with my kid, and also I be wanting to get into bed as well. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. It's important for me to call, to text, to remember birthdays, to send funny memes on Facebook, just to maintain those relationships. And I don't have like a whole host of friends. Like, I try to be more active in my child's school. I try to keep up with the 1, 2, 3 closest friends that I have right now. 4 closest friends that I have right now. And that does not look like me talking on the phone every day. It may look like a phone conversation once a week. It may look like a text message to check in on the weekend. But maintaining those relationships, even though I am incredibly introverted and dealing with things right now that make me want to turn in rather than reach out, I think it is most important to do that reaching out to relationships and social connections when you really don't feel like it, right? It's really easy to neglect those relationships. I think that's about it. Self-care is not just getting your nails done and getting your hair done over there. It does include that. Don't dismiss it. But it's also doing the work to make sure that your total body, your full body happiness and health is maintained. And it's a little bit of work. There are definite privileges that I have that allow me to be able to do that work. I don't take for granted the support that I have, both with my friends and family and professionally, to be able to do that, and also to be able to have the health insurance to be able to go to the doctors to get the supports that I need to be able to take care of self-care. I mean, we could do a whole nother video about the social and socioeconomic determinants of health and how that affects how you can actually focus on self-care. But we won't. If you are able to focus on one or all of those things, it will help you. Let it bless you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the comment section below and in the next video.